Happy Wednesday, you legends! It's another beautiful week, and although I took last week off, we've got a great video today. This past week, the lead legend balancer / designer, Daniel Klein, had a lot to say about upcoming legend changes in the next couple of seasons, on top of where some of the legends stand today. There's really a lot to look forward to and a lot of big changes that could shake up the meta. I always appreciate Daniel's insight, as he's always pretty open about things and really helps us understand the process behind legend changes. You may not always like the changes they make, but there are reasons behind them. On top of that, we've got some fun news about the ALGS viewership, future Apex Funko Pops if you're into those like me, and of course we've got a little bug report at the end. Let's jump on in. We're going to start with the big things, the future legend changes. Daniel Klein has stated a couple times that they're looking to get rid of low profile on legends. You can see it here when talking about Wraith, and again in another post about Wattson. Low profile was always a direct nerf to Wraith and Pathfinder, which then, at the time in the Art of Fairness, they brought over to Wattson and Lifeline, which wasn't really fair because Wattson and Lifeline didn't have quick getaways like Wraith and Path. But they've recently taken it off of Pathfinder, and Wraith no longer has her instant get out of jail free card on top of it. Low profile also means that limb damage is the same as body damage, so on top of the 5% damage increase you actually get extra damage to limbs, which is not great to say the least. This will be a huge buff to these smaller characters, and I have been asking for Wattson and Lifeline to have that removed for forever. Speaking of Wattson, Daniel also notes her pick rate is extremely low, but her win rate is one of the highest. Speaking from experience, her learning curve feels super high, especially on Olympus, but she is a strong character, although I still think her tactical could be buffed a bit. The recent shield charge buff didn't really help her pick rate, but her win rate did actually receive a boost because of it. One of the most controversial changes in the last patch was Caustic's nerf to the ground. Caustic's pick rate decreased by half, but his win rate stayed the same actually. So those nerfs did have the effects they wanted on overall game health, even though he may not be as fun for others to play anymore. Statistically, this is good for the game, but when it comes to player experience, is it still good for the players who enjoyed playing him? Let me know what you think in the comments. Rampart is also getting a buff coming soon. No teasers as to yet what those buffs are, but this is really exciting. It was also cool because in the ALGS, she was picked a few times in the European branch of it. I don't think she's necessarily a weak legend per se, but she doesn't feel like her team utility is the best. Her passive, I will say though, is one of the best in the game right now, and I'll stand by that. Apparently, she has the second lowest win rate, and the only one lower than her right now is Fuse. And we'll get into that in just a second. Daniel is a bit of a Loba main, and her tactical is getting a major fix. I know, they keep saying that, but this sounds for real this time. He plays the most recent version, their Dev Sandbox, and has gotten a fail maybe once, where right now it seems like it fails every other time. This is going to be a huge boost for Loba, as that really is her only drawback right now in my opinion. Otherwise, she's a really solid legend. Now back to Fuse. Someone asked about Fuse being able to cook grenades as a buff for him. If you don't know what cooking a grenade is, it's when you hold it onto the grenade and it shortens the time to explosion upon release. And here's an explanation of why it's not in the game, and it's a good explanation and makes sense. Fuse will be getting some changes though, hopefully to be a little bit stronger. As Daniel Klein says here, it's hard to gauge how strong or weak a character is going to be on launch, but they're looking at him and thinking about tweaking him. He's one of my favorite legends personality-wise. I just love hearing his voice lines. So anything that's gonna help me hear more of that, good news. Horizon's mobility on the grav lift is being nerfed. Octane nerf is confirmed. It's kind of more of a horizontal nerf though, where they're making him worse in one regard but buffing another aspect to him. They're going to be making it so stim costs more health, but the cooldown is going to be faster than the 3 seconds it is now. I don't love this, to be honest. Octane is fine in my opinion. He hasn't really had his time in the spotlight before this season, and he's already getting a nerf, so sort of a bit of a bummer in my opinion. I know a lot of people are frustrated about Octane though, and my feelings don't negate those experiences. Those are all the confirmed legend changes in the next couple of seasons, and I can't wait until they're implemented to see how they go. Next, during the ALGS on Twitch, Apex Legends hit over 200,000 viewers. That's awesome. Really proud of this game and community. Some more fluff news. It looks like we can finally look forward to more Funko releases in the future. Alex tweeted out this poll, and Octane and Wattson have been asked for a long time. Since the first wave of Funkos came out. Those came out pretty soon after Season 2 started, so this is really fun that we're finally able to get another wave eventually. And I really hope it is all of them, but I'd be happy with Octane and Wattson first. Last bit of news before the bug report, there was an announced and scheduled collaboration event with the company formerly known as Chinatown Market. CM has decided to change their name in light of the hate crimes against AAPI people. This is a great move and I'm glad they're doing it. Due to that, Apex has delayed their collaboration event and will redesign the skins based on this change. The other interesting thing about this collaboration is that this is the first ever Apex collaboration event. The skins look good, but this definitely opens up the doors for more collaborations in the future. Who's someone you'd like to see Apex collab with? We've got a bug report now. Here are some bugs that they are still investigating. All of these bugs are community reported, which I think is important to note because that shows that the impact of bug reporting that the community has on the game and how they look at that. Something else that's really cool is that Ryan Rigney and the Respawn team are going to be throwing out comms on small patches more frequently, as players seem to really like it. I know I love hearing about little things like this that they're doing in the background personally. And that's it for this week, everyone. Big shout out to all you guys for your support and for watching, and if you like this content, go ahead and subscribe, tell your friends to, and you can even follow me on Twitter at HaranaMan. Big shout out as well to Toxic Dogs for the thumbnail. Have a great week, everyone.